Hello there. Like many games, Zenless Zone Zero has an endgame. Also like many games, I am terrible at it. This has led me to a crossroad. If I want higher scores, I can build my agents better, and that sure as hell isn't happening anytime soon. I mean, come on, look at this.
Oh my goodness!
The other option is simple. I can fix my crippling skill issue. This is easier said than done when I can't even be bothered to play the endgame modes past the minimum polychrome rewards. So I had a novel idea. Try for once. These videos I plan to make aren't the 50k scores that top players or whales can do in this game. These are more average runs of a middle-of-the-roads player who is monthly spending at most. They aren't crazy scores or the best builds out there. They are 1% clears. They're proof that if I can clear the endgame, you can too. I will explain the mechanics of the stage and show you my best attempts while I'm at it, and I hope to get better builds and scores with time, which is why I'm making these videos in the first place. Let me know how I can improve in the comments if you want, and if you enjoy hearing somebody yap about basically nothing, my channel is perfect for you. So, stick around and enjoy.
Let's do this.
Alright, so first up on this deadly assault is Primordial Nightmare. Now, she gets a little bit complicated for your first, time fighting her for a few reasons. First of all, her control skill is pretty annoying if you don't know what you're doing, because you have to dodge the first time, and then after that you have to parry it 3 or 4 times in a row in order to get your performance points for that attack, and she only does it once. So, if you want a good score, you're going to be resetting to get that, I suppose. But other than that, she is physical weak and seems to be geared more towards attack agents. I don't know who else is good other than Ye Shanguang. You'd have to ask somebody smarter than me for that. But she's strong against ice and ether, so Miyabi and Yixuan are not going to be able to do anything to her. Maybe Yidhari, but I don't know. The miasma's pretty tough. And speaking of miasma, days stops accumulating when she's miasma'd, which means you're not going to be able to stun her while she has her miasma shield up. This isn't a problem if you're running her with Ye Shanguang, because, obviously, she shreds miasma and doesn't need stun windows. But if you're running her with, Billy, for example, because I know there's a content creator out there that always does these things with Billy. For example, that would get pretty tough, I would imagine, because the stunning is just going to be so annoying because of the miasma. I haven't, sensed a pattern of when she does it, other than exactly when it would piss me off the most. It's always at the most inconvenient times, even if, I have Yi, because it's always somehow, in most of my attempts, always miasmid. When I have no ultimate, Zhao isn't close to her ether veil, and she got no decibels. She's got no points, nothing. So Yi is just basically slapping this god with a sharp stick, hoping that she can break through the miasma fast enough. And that's a pretty big issue with this attempt, I think, as well as I had some very, very bad timed dodges, stuff like that. As you can see, I'm getting hit constantly. My Nicole death shred uptime was not good as well. It was actually pretty horrible, and I get my first stun all the way at the end of the fight with 25 seconds remaining, which is terrible even for not having a stunner. I don't know her specific stats in Deadly Assault, but that does not seem right. And even in my other attempts, I get stuns more frequently, but yeah, that's 20k first clear on Primordial Nightmare.
Let's do this.
Okay. Industrial Corruption Complex. This guy wasn't too bad. He's a 1.x boss, so he's not going to be as troublesome as, like, the Hunter, for example, or Thrall. He's pretty simple. His mechanic is you have to impair his legs in order to get performance points and deal a lot of days. This first attempt, I didn't exactly know that. So my score's not all that great, all things considered. But also I don't know Anby all that well. Haven't played her a lot, but he's weak to electric and ether, I believe. But an issue that I ran into is I can't see his goddamn prompts. I don't know what it is, but like, for some reason, while trying my hardest to do as much damage as I can with Silver Star, like, it was so hard to see all of his prompts, and I don't have triggers, so I was running Pulchra. That probably affected my score, but I don't care, because womp womp. This wasn't too bad, all things considered, though. Like, I got to use some characters that I haven't used in a while. It was really fun, really cool. He doesn't have any miasma due to him being a 1.x boss, which is a godsend. Like, miasma is cool and all, but it's just getting so annoying. Oh my goodness. But his legs here. You gotta deal damage to his legs, specifically, and eventually, if you do enough damage to them, you will get impairs. And when you get impairs, it deals a lot of days, and you get 200 performance points, which, like I said, had no idea. But I still managed this attempt. It's not being too bad. Just trying to keep uptime on all my abilities and stuff, which I do have a crazy skill issue. And here's the part where I was looking at what the hell am I meant to do for performance points. But once I knew that I was supposed to be attacking his legs, I figured it out. Got almost no parries or assists in this. I feel like I was trying so hard to focus on Anby rather than keeping up time on anything else. And that's definitely something that I tried to improve on in my later attempts. Tried to balance it out with my other units. But all in all, he's not nearly as annoying as Nightmare or Hunter, and he's like a freaking like breath of fresh air compared to the miasma fueled 2.0 nightmares we've been having lately. But that's about it. Here's the rest of my attempt.
While I put you in a trance, let's party. Boogie in your body. Work that body, make sure you don't hurt nobody.
Alright. My least favorite deadly assault boss in the game, and it's Wandering Hunter, baby. He gets on my nerves. He's not hard to fight, he's hard to clear. Like, he's pretty tanky, I've noticed, like, especially playing Soldier 11, which I am in this attempt. I tried Soldier 11, Lighter, and Astra first, because I didn't want to just resort to my Yixuan, because that's kind of boring if you just use Void Hunters for everything. But it took me, like, so long of trying this boss with Soldier 11. I was like, you know what, I'll just try it with her. So eventually I did swap. But his miasma mechanic starts about a minute in, and it's directly related to his performance points. You gotta take out the little Lucia he summons, the correct one with the blue aura, and then parry him when he starts. And when he jumps out at you, you parry him, and that gives you performance points. And then you get more for breaking his miasma, I think. He's only got one miasma phase, so it isn't too bad. He's very, very, like, Banyue Yatari focused. Like, he's weak to ice and fire, and he's a rupture boss, which means tanky, tanky, tanky. He's really easy to stun, I've noticed, at least because I use Lighter and Koloda against this guy. But it's just really difficult. And, like, it's such a skill issue. I know that. Like, that's enough of me complaining about Hunter. Just know that if you want to beat him, you're probably going to be having a lot better of a time if you use Monotone instead of Soldier 11 like me. I just didn't have him build. But here's the rest of my first attempt.
Invisible hands are behind you just now. If you ever been that race against rage, then you became cause it's no man's land. Masters in heavy rain, ultimate fame. They shall slay, what they done is in vain. Counting AK-47, 24/7, but you got 11 persecuted by heaven. Comes to the direction, no indication. You got to let it move first, let it out, let it down, let it inside, let loose, let it in to press. Let's get it up. Then what you gonna do is drop the hammer down. Drop rhyme, drop hammer, take it like a labor. You got blood all over, ash all over. Spit it out, some game's over. Tear up the fear, the end is coming in. Spit it out like a spear, I'll burn the dread. No soul, robust, go bust, be bust. Justice to the man with no life. Tear up the fear, the end is coming in. Spit it out like a spear, I'll burn the dread. No soul, robust, go dust, be bust. Justice to the man with no life. There's no man's man, no man ever survived. Invisible hands are behind you just now. If you ever been that race against rage, then you became cause it's no man's land. Masters in heavy rain, ultimate fame. They shall slay, what they done is in vain. Counting AK-47, 24/7, but you got 11 persecuted by heaven. Comes to the direction, no indication. You got to let it move first, let it out, let it down, let it inside, let loose, let it in to press. Let's get it up. Then what you gonna do is drop the hammer down. Drop rhyme, drop hammer, take it like a labor. You got blood all over, ash all over. Spit it out, some game's over. Tear up the fear, the end is coming in. Spit it out like a spear, I'll burn the dread. No soul, robust, go bust, be bust. Justice to the man with no life. Tear up the fear, the end is coming in. Spit it out like a spear, I'll burn the dread. No soul, robust, go dust, be bust. Justice to the man with no life.
Alright, that was my high scores for this deadly assault. There have definitely been worse. I've done a lot worse in this game. For those of you who care, I'll put my builds, like, right after this. So, there you go. Yippee, yay!